Hello, hello. All right. Welcome everyone. Today is the last day of the knockout stage and there's going to be third place match as well as the finals. And before we get into our game state, let's thank our sponsors first very quickly, which is BNB Chain, Spirit Master, 𝙂𝙖𝙢𝙚, and Izumi Finance. All right, and that's it. Let's go straight into the games here. Alright, and we see Kenneth with the Empire Pirate and Howard running the Empire Book. Alright, and looking like their classic deck. And Howard's Horiru seems to be able to survive on top row this turn, which is a good news for Howard, but it's also bad news for Howard that Kenneth has 2 units on top row right now. Alright, and before I keep on going, let me just try and pull out my chat. Alright. And here is the Spirit Master NFT message. I'm going to pin it. Alright. And it looks like Kenneth wants to kill the Horiru, so he plays the Gorilla top row. And Howard really wants to protect the Horiru, so he uses Holy Punishment. And okay, it looks like we already see the Professor. And then the Spectator mode box out. Okay, very sweet. It's gonna re-enter the room. Alright, so there was the Phantomberg Professor, and the Phantomberg gets to protect the top row of Howard, but Howard's HP has been lowered to 13, and we do see a Hymn of Light here. So maybe a combo of things like reinforcement plus Hymn of Light could kill Howard here. Alright, and here's comes Selling Faith. Going to kill everything. Alright, and Judgment Day is going to make sure the 16 attack go to Kenneth's face. But Howard's cards were all discarded, so now he only has 1 card while Kenneth still has 4. So we gotta see if Kenneth can set up a board that can give enough pressure to Howard here. And let's see. Alright, so Kenneth do have a Templar Protector here, so he doesn't need to rely on the Piggy. Alright, so there's 1 Piggy mid-row that is going to give 3 attack, and Howard has a Hymn of Light, which is useless because the Horiru has Shroud, so it cannot be buffed by Hymn of Light. Alright. And here comes the Scholar, which is also not very strong, I would say. And Hymn of Light is going to be played here. And Howard's going to play Hymn of Light here as well. Trying to kill the Piggy, but Piggy also gets buffed. Alright, and that's 6 attack. So now Howard's 1 HP left, but is going to be able to draw 1 card, so he's going to have 2 cards. Alright, so now Howard has 2 cards. And if these 2 cards are cards like Holy Punishment or Judgment Day, yes, Holy Punishment or Judgment Day, then Kenneth is in big trouble. So let's see, one of them is the Moonlight Sacrifice, and the other one is a Reinforcement. Alright, but the Drunken Man here already killed the Moonlight Sacrifice, so we can see that Kenneth already wins the game here, but we just gotta wait for the animation to end. Alright, and the Drunken Man here with the 3 attack is going to take down the game here. Alright, and that's 1-0 for Kenneth. And Let's see. There is a good chance that Howard might be changing his deck. Yes, Howard changed his deck, so even though it's still Empire book, it has about 55 spell power lesser than the first one, so it is a different deck. And for um for anyone that doesn't know, um for the Spirit Master NFT drawing, you need to leave comments in the comment section after the stream ends, so it's not in the chat right now, but you could still type that in the chat just for just for fun. Yeah. All right. We do see a Caroline in Howard's hand, and I believe Howard might just play her. Oh, and Howard also has Kiddo, so that is very strong. All right, so it's going to be Kiddo into Caroline or Moonlight Sacrifice, and that is I would say, probably the best board you could see from a Empire book in the early stages. All right, and we do know that Kenneth is 5 HP lower than Howard right now, so Kenneth cannot play Portrait here unless he doesn't want the Portrait to go back to his hand. Right. So Caroline, yes, Kato into Caroline, probably the strongest early game combination here. And Howard is 5 mana right now. I would say if he has Hoary Root here, he would probably play Hoary Root here behind Caroline and probably save Moonlight Sacrifice some other time, because even if he wants to play Moonlight Sacrifice, this the slot behind Caroline is probably the best one. But if Moonlight Sacrifice takes up this slot, then there's no place for Howard to put down the Hoary Root. So this is probably what Howard is thinking right now. But Kenneth's HP is also lowered to 22, so Howard can use this chance to make sure that Kenneth's HP is always lower than himself. So there's no way Kenneth can play Portrait. Even if he does, there is only going to be a single Portrait. So the Portrait will not go back to Kenneth's hand. Alright. And they're waiting for a lot of time. And alright, that was a little bit weird. So that was the Imperial Logistician that got killed by the Holy Punishment at the bot row. So it looks like there is no Holy Root on Howard's side. Alright, and Kenneth is not even trying to deal with the top row because you need to hit Kiddos twice to actually kill the unit due to the Ghost Boy. And Caroline also has 2 armor as well as 6 HP, so both of them are really hard to get rid of, especially in the early stages. Alright, and it looks like Kenneth is not able to stop Howard here. We do know Kenneth has 3 decks, I believe, so Kenneth might change his deck here after losing the first game. Or I should say losing his first game. Alright, and it looks like it's still the same bell power. So Kenneth is not changing his deck. Okay, so we do see a Holy Root in Howard's hand, and he's going to play it, protected by the Scholar of Divination. But Kenneth is going to fill up the board by playing Templar Protector into Bully. So that's going to fill up a lot of board, and is also able to kill the Holy Root here. And is going to leave 3 units on the board here, and we can see he has a Hymn of Light on hand. So this is going to give Howard a lot of pressure, because Kenneth might not play Hymn of Light here and still play something else, such as burn a card and do maybe Bully into another Templar Protector if he has another one. Alright, so Howard is trying to deny the pressure from Hymn of Light by playing the Mila here, but the Templar Protector summoned a second security guard at the bottom row, and the second security guard is able to take down the Mila here. Alright, so we do know one card in Howard's hand is Mila, but playing Mila here again probably is not going to save Howard. So Kenneth is looking really good right now, especially when he has Happy Space. And if you cast Hymn of Light next turn, then Kenneth can buff his Happy Space to be a beast. But it looks like Kenneth is going to hold that Hymn of Light for one more turn. Alright, and the bully is shooting like a sniper. Alright, and bully is going to go back, but that is fine because now Kenneth is 2 off, filling up the entire board with 35 HP, while Howard is only a 6, and Hymn of Light is probably going to be played here. And yes, Hymn of Light is being played here. But Howard is going to play Judgment Day, but that is still not enough to clear the full board here. So Kenneth will take down the second game by filling up the entire board to deny the Judgment Day. Alright. And they go straight into the um fourth game. Yes, the fourth game. Okay. So Howard is the one with Templar Protector this game, which is very interesting. And Kenneth is going to kill the Templar Protector with Ocean Storm. But Howard knew this and is going to deny Ocean Storm with Caroline, since Caroline has Hexproof. But the Exotic is also tanky enough to tank the Ocean Storm here. And Kenneth is going to play a Gorilla here. And that Gorilla is strong enough to take down the Caroline, while Howard is trying to set up both Caroline and field defense into the Hymn of Light. So that was the key turn that Kenneth can take down Caroline before this farmer gets to block Gorilla's damage for Caroline. So very well played by Kenneth here. Alright. And Howard is still trying his best to set up the Horiru here. But unfortunately, Drunken Man plus Bully, the 3+3 combo, would be able to take down the Horiru here. Alright. And Howard has the small angel here. But we do see Kenneth having the missionary. So if missionary is being played on the top row, it's guaranteed to survive here. Alright, but Kenneth is going to speed up the game by playing Bully into Hymn of Light. And Gorilla is going to use that 13 attack to hit Howard straight on the face. But Howard played a Mila and that copy a Hymn of Light. But I would say Hymn of Light is not a very useful card for Howard right now. So out of the 5 cards, one's Small Angel, one's Mila, one's Hymn of Light. So there's only 2 cards that Howard can maybe set up a board here. But it's quite hard because if he tries to set up the board, he needs to contest the top row. But the Gorilla is 13-10 beast right now. Alright, and the Drunken Man is going to take down the first village dude without dying and is going to tank the second hit. And the bully unfortunately didn't hit the village dude, but still was able to take down it. And since there's no creature, the exotic gets to move and that takes down Howard, making the game 3-1. Alright, and since this is a BO7, so this is the match point for Kenneth. And they go straight into the fifth game. Alright. Okay, and it looks like Kenneth is the one with Caroline this turn, and it's a level 5 Caroline. So I believe Kenneth is going to play Caroline here. Okay, looks like Kenneth is going to wait one more turn and play Drunken Man first. And Howard is the one trying to speed up here and burn his Hymn of Light into the Moonlight Sacrifice. So now the problem probably goes to whether Kenneth is going to play the Caroline bot row or not. And Howard already knew this is going to happen, so he's going to play the Snake Phantoms here. And the Snake is going to lower Caroline's HP down to 1, as well as protecting the Moonlight Sacrifice. And the Scholar of Divination has 3 attack, so if it's played at the bot row and Kenneth have nothing to protect the Caroline will die here. Alright, but it looks like Howard only had Mila and Scholar. So he played Mila, which is definitely a better choice than Scholar because it might copy a field defense or anything like that. But Kenneth is just probably trying to set up the creatures here since he knows Howard has Judgment Day. So he doesn't want to set up like half a board, maybe 6 or 7 units, and then Hymn of Light it. And and then probably all units would die into Judgment Day because I believe Howard is running 2 Judgment Day, so there is a good chance that he can draw Judgment Day later on in the game. Alright, so we do see Howard playing Scholar trying to protect Mila as well as draw some cards. And Howard has 3 cards right now, while Kenneth only has 2. So Kenneth really needs to try and draw more cards right now. And Howard also buffed his HP up to 65 with the Moonlight Sacrifice earlier, and that stops Kenneth's unlimited portrait strategy. Alright. And now Howard is going to play Reinforcement, and that will be copied by Mila. So Howard is going to have a Reinforcement in his hand. Alright. And Howard is going to draw another card with the second Scholar here. So I would say it's looking quite bad for Kenneth here. Howard is looking good because Howard gets to play Reinforcement probably again. And he also has 2 more mana than Kenneth due to Mila. And Reinforcement is probably going to um be in front of all these creatures. Alright, and Howard is going to save the Reinforcement. Actually, no, he is going to play the Reinforcement with Lena. So setting up his board while setting up the board while make sure Kenneth cannot move. So he gets to attack this turn. Alright. So now Howard sets up a better board than Kenneth. And then he also took down the Happy Space. And we do see Kenneth having Portrait in his hand, but his HP is lower than Howard. So this is really a big problem for Kenneth. And Kenneth is not going to wait any longer. He's going to play the Portrait right now. But Howard still has Mila on board. And the Mila on board is going to copy the Portrait. And then he's also going to copy the Hymn of Light. Alright, and Kenneth cannot um Kenneth thinks he cannot deal with Howard's all these spell cards. That's right, alright. And Kenneth cannot deal with all these spell cards in Howard's hand, so he is going to surrender here. But they are going to go straight into the 6th game. Alright. And it looks like Looks like Kenneth is going to play the Smuggler here, while Howard trying to speed up the game with the Scholar. Alright, so he burned the Imperial Logistician. And then we can see Howard's Holy Root is already here on time. So would Howard protect the Holy Root with Scholar? If he's going to do that, then Holy Root will probably be placed behind the Scholar. And I think Kenneth is considering about maybe some type of solution to answer that. Because the best way to kill the Holy Root is kill it the first turn. So is there any chance for Kenneth to use 4 mana and try deal with both Scholar and the Holy Root here? I would say Bully could be one of the choice because casting Bully and then shooting the Scholar could kill both Holy Root and the Scholar, but it seems like Kenneth is lacking Bully or is not going to risk it, so he's going to play the Gorilla first. But Howard is going to play a Kiddo on the top row, and Kiddo is definitely a better unit to protect the Holy Root. And yes, Howard is going to protect the Holy Root with Kiddo here. Alright, and Caroline is going to be played, but Caroline is not a strong enough unit to take down the Kiddo. Well, it did take down the Kiddo, but could not kill the Ghost Boy. And I believe Howard is going to charge here, as well as playing Caroline top row. And if that happens, the Kiddo with 5 attack itself can kill Caroline, and then the Caroline by Howard can heal himself to deny 6 damage from the 4 damage from the Gorilla. But we do see Portrait in Kenneth's hand, and Kenneth has higher HP than Howard, so Kenneth might play Portrait here in front of Caroline. Yes, and Howard might play Holy Punishment, but it looks like nope. Howard is going to play Caroline since we don't know if he has Holy Punishment or not. And the Kiddo is not going to shoot the piggies, but is going to shoot the gorillas. Alright, and the Caroline is going to kill the piggy here, but would be killed by the gorilla. And the Horu is going to be stronger and grow into the A12 beast right now. Alright, and Kenneth has 4 cards, and we do know one of them is Portrait. And if Howard wants the Kiddo to grow back up, he needs to charge something. Alright, and he charged the Annabelle to play Lena into a charged Kiddo. Alright, and Kenneth, just like usual, going to play Portrait in front of the Caroline. And that is going to protect the Caroline. But only protect it from Kiddo. Could not protect it from the Horu. Alright. And Lena is going to take down the Gorilla. So both Caroline and Gorilla were down due to Horu and Lena. So Howard is having a much better board right now. The problem is that he only has 1 card while Kenneth still has 5, and Kenneth is having Portrait when he has higher HP. So he really needs to hope that there is no Judgment Day. And it looks like that card was Templar Protector, so that is a good news for Kenneth, and the Kiddo is finally down here. Alright. But the exotic that just got newly summoned by the Met Smuggler would be dying this round. Okay, okay. And Kenneth is going to play Annabelle here, so both of them are running Annabelle, but Howard burned his Annabelle. Alright, and Horu is too big of a unit for Kenneth to take down, but they do get to block the damage from Horu. Alrighty, Annabelle is making the piggies really tanky. But there's only 5 units on Kenneth's board right now, and the Horu has 64 attack. So if Howard plays Judgment Day here, then Kenneth is probably still not going to die due to the piggies healing, but it would actually be a big trouble. Or maybe if that's a Holy Punishment. So Holy Punishment into the Silent Battlefield could also one-shot Kenneth here. if that was played last turn. Alright, so the Phantom Bear Professor is going to be played here. And the Professor is going to die to Mad Smuggler, but the Annabelle is going to die to the Holy Root. So there's no more Annabelle, so the piggies won't be buffed anymore. Alright, and the top row is only a Mad Smuggler, and Kenneth trying to give as much pressure as possible with the piggies bot row. And the piggies would be enough to take down Howard next turn, when they could successfully hit Howard's face next turn. But Howard is going to block the bot row damage by playing the Moonlight Sacrifice. And that's the only card that he draw. Alright, and Kenneth is going to play the Selling Faith here. And as we can see, the piggy has 7 attack, and the Selling Faith is going to minus 3 HP from Howard. So this piggy is going to kill here if the security guard wasn't summoned bot row. And yes, the security guard was summoned the mid row. And the game will goes to Kenneth. Alright, and Kenneth is going to take down the third place match with the 4-2 score. And congratulations on Kenneth for being the third place. Alright. And that's it for today's third place match. And let me just pull out the random picker before we end our streams today. And here's the random picker. Just give me a second to pull out the link from the semifinals. Alright. Okay, so for anyone that doesn't know, let me just show you guys here. As everyone can see, this is the comment section. This is where you leave the comments to draw for a Spirit Master NFT. Alright, and well, there's still one more chance for anyone that still wants a Spirit Master NFT. You guys can leave Era7 to the moon and your wallet address after this streaming ends, and the Spirit Master NFT will be drawn just right in the next stream, which is like only 3 to 4 hours later, which is the final match. And yes, I would say that's it for the friendly tip. And I am going to copy the link from that video, and I'm going to draw 2 people. Alright, going to be 2 winners. I'm going to fetch the comment and going to preview it. Alright, and it looks like everyone is saying Era7 to the moon, so I will just draw 2 of these people. And let's see. It's Hikari and ESW. Both of them are the winners, and I'm going to take a screenshot just so I know who is the winner here. Alright. And for anyone that wants to get Spirit Master NFT, don't forget to leave Era7 to the moon and your wallet address. That is very important. Leave your wallet address in the comment section after this streaming ends. And the drawing would be on the final live stream. And before we actually end the stream, let's thank our sponsors again, which is BNB Chain, Spirit Master, Biosyn, and Izumi Finance. Alright, and that's it. Thanks for watching the third place match. We will see you guys in the final match.